Welcome to Lento English. Ready to level up your English? Here we learn through stories, slow, clear, and fun. Listen, relax, and enjoy the journey.
One introduction. This is a story about two important men. One is President Trump. He is the leader of a big country. He is in his second time as president. The other man is Elon Musk. He is a very rich man. He leads big companies that make cars and rockets. His companies are known around the world. For a time, President Trump and Elon Musk were good friends. They worked together closely. Elon Musk helped the government in an important way. He had a special job to find ways to save government money. This job was called the Department of Government Efficiency. It was important work. People talked about this job a lot when President Trump first became president. They said it was a big story when Musk started this job and began closing parts of the government and saying goodbye to many workers. President Trump and Elon Musk seemed to have a strong connection. It was maybe a surprising friendship because they are different people in different worlds, but they worked well together for a while. They often met in important places. Sometimes Elon Musk visited President Trump in his office, the Oval Office. They traveled together sometimes too, for example, on the president's plane. When Musk finished his 130 days in his special government job, they said goodbye in a friendly way. They met in the Oval Office. They talked like friends. There were ideas that maybe Musk would work with the government again later. Their friendship seemed strong to many people. But then things changed very quickly. A big public argument started between them. This argument was not quiet or private. It was very public. Many people heard about it on the news and online. It was surprising because they were powerful friends who seemed to work well together. Now they are not friends anymore. Their good relationship is finished. People are surprised by this sudden change. President Trump spoke to people about Elon Musk. He spoke openly about his feelings. He said he was not happy with Musk. He said he was very disappointed in him. He used words to show that the relationship was in the past. He said they had a great relationship, using the past tense, not that they still have one now. This was a clear sign that things were different. The disagreement grew bigger very fast. It became like a public fight using strong words. This fight is important because it involves two very powerful people. It can affect many things like government plans and big businesses. For example, one of Musk's companies, SpaceX, makes rockets and works with the government on space travel. His other company, Tesla, makes electric cars. The argument between Trump and Musk could change how the government works with these companies. This story will tell you more about this surprising public fight. We will see how it started with a disagreement about money plans. We will see what happened next as their words became stronger and stronger. When two powerful people disagree so openly in front of everyone, it has big effects. We will look at these effects on business, government work, and public opinion. We will see how their words became strong threats. We will see if they can find a way to stop fighting. This public disagreement is interesting because it shows what happens when big leaders have problems with each other in front of everyone. Their friendship is over and the public fight has started for everyone to see. It is a big change from when they worked together and were friends. 2. Good friends before. Before the disagreement, President Trump and Elon Musk were good friends. Many people saw them as a strong team. It was maybe a surprising friendship because one was the president and the other was a leader in technology. But they worked together well for a time. Elon Musk had a special job helping the government. His work was to find ways to save money. He led a group called the Department of Government Efficiency. People sometimes called it DOGE. This was an important job in the first few months of President Trump's time in office. Musk's work meant big changes. He helped close some government offices that were not needed. This also meant that many people who worked in those offices lost their jobs. It was a big story at the time. Even when things were difficult, President Trump supported Elon Musk. Sometimes Musk had problems with other people in the government. Sometimes people did not like the things Musk did or said, but President Trump stayed friends with him. Musk often came to visit President Trump. He visited important places like the president's office, which is called the Oval Office. He also met with the president and other important people in the cabinet room. Sometimes, Musk even traveled with President Trump on his airplane. Elon Musk had this special government job for more than 100 days. After about 130 days, his time in the job finished. When he left the job, he and President Trump had a friendly meeting. They met in the Oval Office. Their meeting seemed very friendly. They talked like maybe Elon Musk would work with the government again in the future. It seemed possible that their good relationship would continue. President Trump later said that he and Elon Musk had a great relationship. At that time, it was true. They were good friends and worked together. 3. The first problem. A new thing happened in the government. There was a new plan about how the government should spend money. This plan was important. It was a big plan for the country. Elon Musk looked at this new plan. He did not like it. He thought it was not good. He thought the government should not spend money in this way. This was a problem for him. Elon Musk decided to speak about his ideas. He did not speak quietly to President Trump. He spoke in public. He used his voice to say that the new spending plan was bad. He spoke against the plan for more than 1 week. He told many people that he did not agree with it. He tried to make others not like the plan too. This was the first time there was a big problem between President Trump and Elon Musk. Before, they were good friends. They worked together. People saw them together. They said good things about each other. Their relationship was strong. But when Elon Musk spoke against the government plan, things started to change. President Trump heard what Musk said. President Trump did not like it. He was not happy. Their ideas were different now on an important thing. The public started to see this change. People read the news. They saw that Elon Musk was speaking against something President Trump wanted. They remembered that these two men were friends before. It was surprising for many people. The good relationship they had was not the same. A problem started because of the new spending plan. Elon Musk said no to the plan in public. This public disagreement showed that something was changing between the powerful leader and the tech leader. It was the start of their problems, and everyone could see it. 4. Words get strong. The problem between President Trump and Elon Musk became much bigger. It was now a very public fight. Everyone could see it. This was very different from before. President Trump spoke about it openly. He told people that he felt sad about the situation with Musk. He said he was not happy with Musk's actions. Trump used strong words. He said Musk acted strangely, like he went crazy. Trump said Musk had to leave his job helping the government. He said these things to people when he was meeting another country's leader in an important room. He also spoke to the news about his feelings. He clearly stated he was very disappointed. This was a big change from when he gave Musk a job to help save money. Elon Musk also talked about the problem in public. He used social media a lot. He wrote many posts on a platform called X. He wrote about the fight for everyone to read. He even shared funny pictures or memes about it. He wrote that his posts helped more people use the platform X. He wrote about the argument many times, keeping the discussion going. The news about their public fight went everywhere very fast. Many newspapers wrote big stories about it. Many people talked about it on TV news shows and online. It was a very big story that caught people's attention. Their disagreement was not quiet anymore. It was loud and public. The friendly time they had was finished. Now they were fighting with words for everyone to see and hear. People saw the world's strongest leader and a very rich man arguing openly. The words they used became stronger and stronger, like a war, but only with words. This public fight started after Musk stopped working for the government last week. Before that, they seemed like good friends and met many times. But now, the good feeling was gone and their relationship was broken in public. This public argument showed everyone that their alliance was over. It was a surprising event for many people who remembered their past good relationship. 5. Big threats made. The fight between the president and Mr. Musk became more serious. They started to make big threats against each other. Mr. Musk talked about stopping one of his important projects. This project was a space program run by his company. It used a special spacecraft that was very important. This spacecraft was used by people from the United States who travel to space. Mr. Musk thought about stopping this program completely. This was a very big idea, and it surprised many people watching the situation. Stopping the program would have very big effects on space travel for the country. At the same time, President Trump spoke publicly about Mr. Musk. He talked about Mr. Musk's recent behavior. President Trump said that Mr. Musk acted in a strange and unusual way. He used strong words to describe Mr. Musk's actions, saying he had gone crazy. The president also suggested something important about the government's future actions. He suggested that the government might stop working with Mr. Musk's companies. Mr. Musk has several companies that have contracts and work with the government on different important projects. One company is known for its work in space travel. Another company is famous for making electric cars. If the government stopped working with these companies, it could be a very big problem for Mr. Musk and his businesses. These serious threats made the situation much worse between the two men. The tension between the two powerful men grew very high, almost to a breaking point. Their public fight was now very serious and had real possible consequences. People all over the world watched and wondered what would happen next after hearing these threats. The threats clearly showed how angry they both were with each other. Mr. Musk's threat about the space program was seen as a very serious move. It could directly affect important work in space exploration and travel. President Trump's threat about ending government work was also very serious. It could directly affect Mr. Musk's businesses, jobs, and money. The words they used were strong and direct. They were no longer just disagreeing about a government plan or having different opinions. They were making public statements that could cause real and significant problems for each other in very important areas. The public watched this argument very closely because it was very unusual to see such powerful people fight like this in the open. The threats were a new and dangerous step in their public disagreement. It showed everyone that the situation was becoming potentially very damaging for both sides and for the country. The friendly time they had before seemed like a very long time ago now. The air around them and in the news was full of tension and worry about what might happen next. People in government positions and in the business world were concerned about the possible results of these threats. What would happen if the government actually stopped working with Mr. Musk's companies? What if Mr. Musk really did stop the important space program? These were big and important questions that many people were asking. The threats were not just empty words spoken in anger. They were ideas for real actions that could happen very soon. These potential actions could have very big and wide-reaching results for many people and projects. The president and Mr. Musk were using their power and influence against each other in a very public and direct way. This was clearly a difficult time for their relationship, which was now broken. It was also a difficult time for the people who worked for them or with them on important projects. The threats made everyone pay much more attention to the fight. The argument was now at a very high and risky level. It was not clear how it would end or who would be affected most. The big threats were made, and the future seemed very uncertain for everyone involved. The public waited to see what would happen after these serious threats were spoken. Would they actually follow through on their strong words and take these big actions? The tension was extremely high. This chapter shows how the fight got much worse very quickly. It shows the serious and potentially damaging things they said they might do to each other. These threats completely changed the nature of their disagreement from a simple argument to a serious conflict. It was no longer just about different opinions or ideas. It was about potential actions with very big and negative effects. The whole situation felt dangerous and unpredictable. The world watched closely to see what would happen next in this public fight between two very powerful men. The two men stood firm in their positions and did not seem willing to step back easily. The threats were now out in the open for everyone to hear and see. There was no turning back easily now that such serious things had been said. The fight had reached a new, higher level of conflict and danger. The words were very strong, and the possible actions were very serious for business and for important national projects. The tension was felt by many people beyond just the two men. This moment was a very important point in their story. It marked a time where the disagreement became very risky and could have big negative results. The threats were real and they had big meanings for the future. This part of the story is all about these serious and public threats that changed everything. 6. Money and business. The public argument between President Trump and tech leader Elon Musk quickly showed its effects on money and business. One of the clearest impacts was on Musk's well-known electric car company, Tesla. Tesla is a very large company, famous around the world for making electric vehicles. Like other big companies, parts of Tesla can be bought and sold on the stock market by investors. These parts are called shares. The price of a company's shares is a way to see how people feel about the company's success and future. During the time of the public disagreement between the president and Musk, the price of Tesla shares went down. This was not a small drop. The value of the shares fell by 14%. This decrease had a big effect on the total value of the company. Before the argument became so public and strong, Tesla was worth a huge amount of money, more than $1 trillion in total. After the shares dropped by 14%, the company's total value fell below $1 trillion. This showed everyone that the fight between President Trump and Elon Musk was not just words spoken in public. It had a direct and negative result on Musk's business empire, impacting the value of his biggest company. Many people who owned Tesla shares and people interested in the stock market watched this situation very closely. They were concerned about how the ongoing disagreement with the president might affect the company's business operations and value in the future. Elon Musk also has other important companies too. One is SpaceX. SpaceX is a company that builds rockets and spacecraft. This company has important contracts and works closely with the United States government on space programs and missions. Earlier, during the peak of the public argument, Elon Musk had made a significant statement about one of his company's spacecraft. He had suggested that he might decide to stop using a crucial spacecraft that the government uses for important missions. This specific spacecraft is important for sending American astronauts into space. However, not long after making this threat, Elon Musk changed his mind. He publicly announced that he would not stop using the spacecraft. He decided to walk back his earlier statement about decommissioning it. This decision was important for the government's space program, ensuring its work could continue without interruption. It also suggested that some business activities with the government are perhaps too critical to be stopped because of a personal or political fight between individuals. The entire situation, including the drop in Tesla's market value and the decision regarding the SpaceX spacecraft, made many people pause and think. It raised important questions about the relationship between powerful business leaders and the government. How should these two powerful parts of society interact? What are the effects when the relationship is not good, but instead involves public fighting and threats? People started to ask serious questions about the future of Elon Musk's companies. Would the government continue to give contracts to SpaceX for important space projects? Would the public argument make it harder for Tesla to sell cars or do business in the United States? These questions were important not just for Musk and his companies, but for the economy and the future of government projects. The events of this time showed clearly that disagreements at the highest levels can have real and significant effects on money, business, and important national programs. The financial and business consequences of the fight became very visible to the public. 7. Online fights. The fight between the two important men did not stop. It moved to the internet. They used a social media website called X. This is a place where people write short messages. Many people read these messages very quickly. Elon Musk used X often during this time. He wrote many posts about the disagreement with President Trump. He wrote his thoughts for everyone to see. People who followed him and people who followed the president could read these words. It was easy for many people to see the argument online. Musk wrote about the situation several times on X. His messages were public for the whole world. This made the fight even more public than before. People all over the world could see them arguing online. It was a new way for their problems to be seen by many people at the same time. In some of his posts, Musk wrote about time. He talked about how long he thought he would be important or active in the world. He compared this to how long President Trump would be president. President Trump has a job that lasts for a set number of years. Musk said that President Trump had only a few years left as president in this term. But he said he himself would be active and working for many, many years, maybe 40 or more. This was a strong thing to say online. It showed he thought his influence would last much longer than the president's term in office. These messages on X were very important. They were not private talks between two people. They were for everyone in the world to read. The online words brought much more attention to the problem between the two men. News websites wrote stories about their online posts on X. People talked about them at home, at school, and at work. The fight was now very visible because it was happening online for everyone to see. Musk's posts on X continued the story of their disagreement in a very public way. He did not hide his feelings or thoughts about the situation. He put them online for everyone to see and read. This online talking made the disagreement bigger in the eyes of the public. It showed that the problem was still happening and was not finished. The social media platform X became a main place for the public to follow the fight as it happened. Every post from Musk added more information and showed the public how the two men felt. It was like watching the disagreement happen live in small text messages. People waited to see what he would write next on X. President Trump also used social media, but Musk's specific posts on X were a big part of this online fight that everyone saw. The online words showed that the problems between them were deep and serious. It was not just a small disagreement that would end quickly. It was a public fight with words exchanged online for the world to read. This kind of fight, happening on social media for powerful people, was new and interesting for many. It changed how people saw the relationship between people in government and people who lead big businesses. The online posts on X were a very key part of the public story of their falling out and argument. The fight was now online for all to see. This online fight was different from talking face to face. Words online can spread very fast. Many people can see them at the same time. This made the argument bigger quickly. It was a modern way to have a public disagreement between important people. The messages on X were short, but they had a big effect. People formed opinions based on what they read online. This online part of the fight was important because so many people saw it. It showed that disagreements between powerful people can now happen openly on the internet for anyone to follow. 8. A chance for peace. The public disagreement between the president and the tech leader was very clear for everyone to see. It was a big topic of conversation. People wondered what would happen next. Would the fighting continue, or could things change? Amidst all the strong words and public statements, a new idea came up. What if the two powerful men could stop their fight? A suggestion was made. Another businessman, a very rich one, spoke about the situation. He said that President Trump and Elon Musk should try to find a peaceful way forward. He believed they should stop arguing and make peace. Elon Musk saw this suggestion. He answered publicly. He said that the businessman who suggested peace was right. This answer was important. It showed that maybe Elon Musk was open to the idea of stopping the disagreement. It seemed he thought making peace could be a good step after the difficult public fight they had. However, just because one person suggested peace and one leader seemed open to it, did not mean the fight was over. It was still unclear if President Trump felt the same way. Would he also want to stop the public arguments? Could they really put their differences behind them after saying such strong things about each other? Finding peace might be difficult after such a big public fight. They had disagreed on important government plans. They had spoken negatively about each other. Their companies and businesses were also part of the discussion. So changing from public fighting to peace would be a big step. This situation, with two very powerful men fighting openly, and then a suggestion for peace, teaches people something. It shows that even people in very high positions can have big disagreements. It also shows that after a period of conflict, there can sometimes be a chance to stop the fighting. It raises questions about how leaders handle disagreements and what it takes to find a resolution. The possibility of peace was there, but it was not certain. Many people watched to see if they could find a way to end their public argument and move towards a more peaceful situation.